Hello, I'm Counselor Fox. I am a family and trauma counselor and founder of Fox Adoption and Counseling LLC and the developer of Remm, R-E-M-M, an acronym for a PTSD therapy, which is Replacement Experience Memory Method, along with former U.S. Army Specialist and Cav Scout McLean. He helped me develop the military and first responder version of Remm so that we could provide this to a community of individuals with invisible injuries and their families to find a place of healing for their stress, their anxiety, and their PTSD. On this video, we're going to be talking about education. The education of knowing and having the knowledge of what you are fighting. Now, if you were a veteran, you took great time to gain the knowledge of your enemy or your opponent. As a police officer, you take great time to study the activities and behavioral patterns of criminals. As a firefighter, you take great time to study the elements and the personality of fire and its many situations. So in all of those areas, you spend great time deciding on what knowledge to fill yourself with so that you can have that knowledge to fight the opponent, whether it's fire, criminal, or enemy. So today I want to share with you the fact that we all fight or battle something in life. Okay, I fight and battle chronic pain every single day of my life. You fight with your particular type of pain every day of your life. And so we all have stressors to some particular point, some of us far more than others. And that's where good counseling comes in, of course. So the brain is an amazing and unique design. It's superior from all other intelligence on this planet that we know of. And the limbic system is something that is very intricate and very amazing to study. In your handout that you will be getting as a member of an SSG, there's two packets you'll get, one in the 30-minute presentation that's free in the beginning, and then the other one. This one is of the limbic system. And as you can see, there are many components. There's all of the prefrontal cortex and occipital lobe and limbic system, including the hypothalamus and the hippocampus and the amygdala and all the other components that go in there as well. So it's very complex, it's very unique, and it's going to take some time to understand what goes on within those, because if you understand it, you know that when you get hit on the back of the head, it affects your occipital lobe, your eyesight, your vision, how you take in information in that particular sensory capacity. If you're hit on the front of the head, oftentimes it has an effect on your on the CEO of your brain, the decision-making part, the emotional part, as well as the memory part. So if you know more about your particular condition, what happened to you individually, then you know better how to fight the enemy, which is trauma, pain, stress, and anxiety, and all the things that come along with combat trauma and individual injuries. When these components are blasted by explosions, by visual trauma, damage by bullet fragments, one thing after the other, you're going to come to a position, even if you're assigned to a water truck at a post that is 5 clicks in from the front line, you still will experience trauma, but of a different kind. You will hear the battlefield. You will hear the screaming and the death and the dying and the victories and the battle and the war. You will hear it. That in itself alone can cause PTSD and major traumatic events. All this leads to events that, acronyms are CT, PCSX, PTSD, secondary PTS, MTBI, TBI, PA, PC. There's about a half a dozen others more as well. The brain responds to stress by emitting hormones. when highly charged in traumatic events and when they occur. Massive amounts of these particular hormones and chemicals are released, and depending on where you're injured, the amount of those chemicals is greatly diminished. When a vivid memory is recalled and the levels of this hormone are still low, the intensity of the stress goes up, so you have a counterbalancing effect. There's something called a dissociated state of consciousness, okay? So when you or your loved one has an event where you emotionally and cognitively, in your psyche, you seems like you actually go back to that event that day. You're so caught up in remembering what happened, and we won't even go into that on this video because that in itself could trigger a recurring event memory. So what we want to keep in mind is this dissociated state that affects people with severe traumatic events still stuck in their memory bank that overwhelm all of the other minor memories that they did have or could have. They're not here with the now and you and those around them in the present in the now. They're back then at the event. The key is getting out of that quickly and recognizing that that was then, this is now. And I can help you do that, okay? Replacement Experience Memory Method, Remm, I developed from years of working with adolescents with PTSD. I was a foster parent blessed with a wonderful scenario, big house, good foster mother that took wonderful care of over 100 teenage girls in over 8 years. During that time, there were lots of teenagers with mental problems that were diagnosed, manic depressive disorder, bipolar disorder, HDD, HDHL, the whole gamut, okay? 3/4 of them were on some form of medication. The other quarter were not. Some kids came from a really just messed up home, and some kids ended up just being messed up in a really normal home because of their cognitive, chemical imbalance, mental state, etc. So, over all of those years, seeing how they reacted to certain things, including me giving them a sense of a steady home, providing them care, support, and a place where they could find healing, it really started way back when, the concept of Remm coming to an individual that was stuck in a mental state that they needed to move forward from. So based on new and exciting events that flood the body with new experiences, there's the mental memory. There's also what they call body memory. So for example, if you work out 3 times a week, or like my wife, I don't think she'll mind mentioning, she's a black belt. So when she worked out in her katas, okay, going up through the level of her dans, she would have this physical memory come to produce itself at the moment that she needed to do Dan number 5. So that's the physical memory part of it. The mental part is controlling the thought process to go with that body memory. So the mind and the body working together. In time, you can react confidently to new skills, and you can find through Remm the ability to conquer anxiety, stress, and PTSD. So to learn more, please go to my website. It's remmworks.webs.com. That's WEBS.com. And send me an email. You can be a member of an SSG or start to be a qualified group leader today. My email address is remmworks42@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter @remmworks, or go to my Facebook page and like it, please, /remmworks. God bless you. Take care, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.